Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am your host, Petey.
I'm Donna, and welcome to Twisted Tuesday.
We have a unique one. I was not expecting this.
He had no idea until this morning.
Yep. Let's wait 20 seconds, and then we'll go on the air and we'll talk about what's happening. It's been a pretty beautiful day outside so far.
You were talking this morning about... sorry, go ahead.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am your host, Petey, and we have Donna in the studio today.
Good morning.
Oh, there's an issue with your microphone. Let me see what's happening here. Let me swing this over here, bring it to action. Donna's microphone.
If you didn't want me on the air, you could have just said.
Alright, try talking now.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. I think you're on the air.
Oh, well, good morning, everybody.
So we have another episode of Twisted Tuesday. Donna, explain to the people listening what exactly it is we're doing.
So this morning I thought, let's do something a little bit different, and I was doing, what's the next line? And you're a music guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I could give you what's the next line to like old country or something like that. You're probably not going to know those, and
Okay.
I didn't want to completely, trick you.
Okay.
So I thought we're going to do the nursery rhyme version.
The nursery rhyme. So these are all songs that I probably heard at some point, but not in a very long time.
So that's why I thought if we do the nursery rhyme edition.
It's funny too, because if I genuinely don't know the answer, I'll make up my own.
Perfect.
Yeah, or I'll try to.
Keep it clean.
Yep.
All right. Are you ready to get going?
I think so.
Or do we have news coming up?
We got a half hour. It's 8:30.
Oh, it's 8:30. I'm thinking. Oh yeah. Never mind.
We're good.
Okay. Do you want to start off easy or with a hard one?
I mean, let's start in the shallow end. Let's see what I'm getting into here.
Okay, so these have music with them, just to kind of throw you a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. What's the next line?
I'm awful. I know that song. I don't know what the next line of it is though.
Ba ba black sheep, have you any wool?
No more land shops. My tummy's already full. No.
Okay, let's listen.
Yes sir, 3 bags full.
Okay. Yes sir, 3 bags full.
Do you know the next line?
No.
Okay, we'll move on from that one.
That was the easy one. We're in for a treat, everybody.
Okay, you might get this one.
Okay.
There's words. Hold on.
3 blind mice, 3 blind mice. See?
3 blind mice. I don't. I'm so bad for these. Wow, I didn't realize how awful I was with nursery rhymes.
I thought these are perfect because you're at the age where you haven't heard them forever.
Yeah.
And you don't have kids yet, so you're not practiced up on them.
Yeah.
Right?
I am completely dumbfounded right now. I'm trying to think. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice.
See?
See,
See how they run, see how they run.
They
They. This This is so awful. I can't believe I don't know any of it. It's like the first. I never heard all of that part of it. I don't think I've heard that one.
Okay, we'll do another one.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down.
I have an answer. I feel like it'll be really, really stupid if it's not the answer and I just say it confidently. Because I don't know, maybe in my childhood I was just singing it wrong my whole life. But is it not My Fair Lady? Yes! Okay, there we go. Okay. If it wasn't, I was gonna say, there's nothing fair about this.
Okay, so that's 1 out of 3. And we'll keep going.
Okay. So that one, I don't think I've ever heard in my lifetime. I don't even know what she said on the first sentence there. I couldn't make it out.
Little Jack Horner sat in a corner eating
Chips. Ice cream. Christmas pie.
What a good boy am I. You never heard that before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, there's another one right behind it, so. Eating.
A whole heaping pile of muffins.
You've never heard Little Miss Muffet either?
No. I don't know. I feel
She was eating curds and whey.
Oh, I was that child ever since I was a newborn. I didn't need like the nursery rhymes. I enjoyed my sleep. I would just go to sleep. So maybe my mom did play them, and I would just fall asleep before it even would register. I don't know.
We'll try another one.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a big fall. The king's horses, they couldn't put Humpty back together again.
You got that.
Okay, yeah,
You got that one.
sweet. Do you know where Humpty Dumpty originated from?
Only you would know this. You are so full of random facts. Who knows that much about Humpty Dumpty? Where?
So, I forget the exact location, and I don't want to give out any false knowledge, but there was a battle way back when at a certain castle, and they had a cannon named Humpty Dumpty, and they would use this cannon to defend their castle. And one day, as they were shooting this cannon, it ended up falling off of the top of
The wall?
the wall due to like the backfire of it. And when it fell, it completely destroyed the cannon. And back then, it was like a lot of work to get a cannon up and running like that. So it was like very devastating to their defenses and stuff. And all the king's horses, all the king's men, they all like pretty much like the whole entire castle freaked out and like tried to fix this cannon, and they couldn't fix it. But it was called Humpty Dumpty, and that's where.
So they made a nursery rhyme.
Yeah, so they made a nursery rhyme about it.
Well, it's just like London Bridge is falling down. That, when Queen Elizabeth died, that was the code for her. Like just what she died 2 years ago.
Yeah.
London Bridge has fallen was the code that she had passed.
That's interesting. I wonder if, well, I'm assuming she would have been aware that that would be the code for when she passed away. So do you think maybe she she felt like uneasy anytime she heard the song
I
playing.
don't know. It's falling
Almost like,
down.
yeah, like death is calling. I don't know.
Well, that took a dark turn for
Yeah.
a nursery rhyme show.
Well, I mean, not gonna lie, a lot of nursery rhymes have like weird dark
They
turns
do.
in them.
They do.
I couldn't believe it.
Rockabye Baby is my daughter and I were talking about this. Rockabye Baby is a weird one because the cradle falls out of the tree.
Right? Who? I don't know any other song where people just calmly talk about their cradle crashing.
Yeah. All right, here's another one for you.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
This was one of my favorites. Growing up, I just loved Spider-Man, kind of like how Dan loves Batman. So this was like the nursery rhyme that involved spiders, and I loved it. Out came the rain and washed the spider out, is the answer I'm giving.
Okay, let's go back just a little bit.
Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, so the itsy bitsy spider climb up the spout again.
You got it.
I almost said so he could do it all over again, but I mean, I guess it both work.
There were some of these last night when I was listening to them that I had never even heard.
There's so many nursery rhymes,
There are a lot of nursery rhymes.
and we got to take a moment to appreciate these. I don't even know what you would call it, like late '60s jazz hall versions, and and these I don't know, Cowabunga Surfs Up edition of the summertime version of all of the nursery rhymes so far.
Want to try another one?
Yeah, of course.
All around the cobbler's bench, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought 'twas all fun.
Pop goes the weasel.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you paused it there, because the rest of it, I don't think I know it. Because this is one of those particular nursery rhymes where, depending on where you grew up from, what school you went to, some people always say it wrong, and it just kind of picks up like that. And I feel like I was one of those people that learned it wrong, and I don't want to just say my version of it, and that's not what it is.
Mary, Mary, quite contrary.
I've never heard that one.
Mary, Mary, quite contrary.
Nope.
How does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row.
I've never
No.
heard quite that version of it. Like with
The backup vocals and everything.
Yeah.
Started turning into an Elton John song. That's funny.
Excuse me. Let's see if there's another one here. Oh, okay, we'll do this one. This sounds like an Elton John song.
It does.
Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them. Leave them alone.
I know who Little Bo Peep is, but only because of Toy Story. I didn't know she had her own nursery rhyme that went with her.
She has her own herd of sheep.
Yeah, dang. What was the last sentence again?
Lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them.
and doesn't know where to find them. Little Bo Peep lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them. Little Bo Peep said, "Oh well, I'll get more sheep." Because I don't have the time to find them.
I'm thinking you're just taking a stab at this.
Yeah, that's like.
Leave them alone and they will come home, wagging their tails behind them.
Do sheep have tails?
Yeah.
Is it like
little ones?
Is it like a tail or like a bunny with like a poof ball?
No, it's not. It's not a tail, but it's not a bunny either. It's in between.
I've never noticed that. I mean, I guess they're all just one big fluff ball, so it kind of hides everything. But I did not know sheep had tails.
They don't have tails like waggy tails.
Yeah, or just even like a tailbone, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're similar to goats, and goats have little stubby tails too. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
All right, we will do maybe one or two more. All right, here we go. Nice upbeat one, I think.
Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle.
Hey diddle diddle,
The cat and the fiddle.
and the silver spoon, little boy blue, and the man in the moon.
You kept going off the rails on that one.
I don't know what shit. I thought that that song was where it came from. I didn't know that it was. I was today years old when I found out that song was playing in homage of a nursery rhyme. I thought that they came up with that phrase.
Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle.
The cat and the fiddle. They both looked up at the moon.
The cow jumped over the moon.
Wow, that's kind of close. That was for no prior knowledge of what was gonna happen there. That was pretty close. Ooh.
A ring of roses.
This one I know. A ring around the rosy, a pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
You got it.
That one's another example of a dark one. Do you know what that one's about?
No.
So that song is about the Black Plague.
Oh, that's yeah. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how there's so many songs
That are dark, like
but when you just sing them happy and joyful, they just
they become nursery rhymes.
yeah, they become great stuff for babies to listen to.
I'm surprised they don't have Rockabye Baby in this list.
Yeah, that I would arguably say that's one of the most iconic nursery rhymes
Yes.
of all time. That is a interesting thing, interesting observation.
So the last one is a little bit different. What is this theme song?
Okay. Is this like a TV show or something?
Do you want a little bit more?
Please and thank you. Just off of that melody alone, I don't know off of the words, but off of the melody alone, it sounds like I don't know what that is. It's something though.
It's so
You've activated like an old. There was an old memory just hiding underneath a few dusty shelves
The
and some.
archives are
Yeah,
opening
we just
up.
pulled it out. We're like, whoa.
Do you want a little more?
Sure.
hang on.
Wow, it was the Sesame Street intro. That's crazy. People are probably so upset with me right now.
They're screaming at you.
They are hollering right now. And you know what's funny? I actually used to like Sesame Street growing up, especially Elmo. Like, Elmo was my favorite. I don't know. I guess I never caught the intro of the show. I always just got it put on when it was midway going or something. I don't know. That bothers me that I didn't know that. But it like I said, it activated something in my brain. Like, I knew I heard it from somewhere. I didn't know if it was like from Treehouse growing up or like something, but yeah, interesting. That would be a really good idea for a show, like old show or like childhood show theme songs. I'd have to do some research for stuff of your generation, and you'd have to do research for stuff of my generation.
Yep.
And who knows, you might not even get it 100% right, because I grew up the youngest of 4, so
You watched all of them.
their stuff, I got all of their hand-me-downs. So I do know a little bit of the newer shows, but yeah, I grew up watching quite a few older shows too, which is another reason why it bothers me that I couldn't guess Sesame Street. But speaking of childhood shows, real quick, do you remember a show called, I think it was The Big Red Comfy Couch?
Yep.
You remember that?
Yep.
So
Big comfy couch with where she would do the 10-second tidy.
yeah, and like she would like be like a clock on the ground or
Yep.
what on the carpet. So I didn't realize how happy it was gonna make me, or I didn't even know that I needed this in my life. But I found out a couple weeks ago that she got married, and you're not gonna believe who she got married to.
Who?
She got married to the original Steve from Blue's Clues.
Get out.
Isn't that wild? Like, out of all people, both of them were, like, during the same time period. They were both in their primes, you know. One dominated the female demographic, one dominated the male demographic, and they just happened to meet up in life, and I guess they understand each other better than no one else does.
So I wonder if they have kids, or maybe they already have, whatever, when those kids grow up, are they going to think their parents were cool? Or like, oh my god, Mom, please don't show any of my friends that. Ever.
Right? Or are they going to think, like, are we in an episode? Like, is my dad Steve? Where's Blue at? But I don't know, I thought that was so cool. Like, out of all 8 billion people in the world, you know, decides to... It was like my older sister, but it was my youngest sister out of all of us. That was her favorite show growing up. And then my favorite show was Blue's Clues. And seeing, like, my siblings' favorite show and my favorite show, and they ended up just, like, being a perfect match made from heaven, I don't know. But I didn't know I was going to be so happy when I found out. But I just stumbled across that in the media, and blew my mind.
My kids liked, remember Bear in the Big Blue House?
Yes.
That theme song, as soon as that theme song would come, like, both Brendan and Carly liked that show.
That was a really good show.
And Brendan was very much into, like, Power Rangers. He was in that era, right? When he was
Okay.
like-
I liked those shows because they, not saying that new shows, like new children shows aren't as educational, but I found that older cartoons for children were way more trying to educate, rather than it being kind of like a hidden message of the story. Like, speaking of Bear in the Big Blue House, that show taught me how to spell love at the age of 3, because they had a song called Love, love. You know what I mean? Just little things like that. Just being able to know how to spell a word at the age of 3 was like cool, and got me thinking of how to spell words, and you know.
Some of them are really good though. There was one that my grandson watches. Well, he used to watch. He's kind of getting away from it, but they did a lot of sign language stuff while they were doing it.
That's cool.
So now he just, I mean, he's not even 2 yet, but he knows the sign for more.
That's really cool.
Yeah, he picked that up really quickly.
I never even thought about it like that, but not only would that be good in case, you know, they get older and they have somebody, a family member or a friend that is, you know, impaired, but it's also really good for children who don't have a great vocabulary yet, or they don't even know how to talk yet, and they can use their actions to, you know, show what they want.
Yeah, I think that's the only one he got it, but like I said, he's not even 2 years old, and he picked that up for, I believe it was Miss Rachel.
That's really
Watching Miss
cool.
Rachel.
You know, it's any baby that can't communicate, if it can show a sign for more, that's a very that's a very good start. You know.
Right?
Oh wow, that's so interesting. How much time we got left? We got 7 minutes left.
So I was listening to your when you were talking about the race, the fight breaking out at the race.
the NASCAR race. Yeah.
The scuffle that ensued.
Yes.
So they're going to be racing in North Carolina, those two again.
Really?
Against each other. So I think it's going to get ugly.
The next one, they're gonna have to bring an octagon to the to the actual meetup.
Set it up in the middle of the track.
I would make if I was in the race, I would vouch and say that because I don't know if you're aware, but there's $1 million prize on
I
the
heard
line.
that. Yeah.
I'd be swinging hands too if somebody jeopardized me of $1 million, especially putting my life on the line just for it. But
Did you watch the video of that?
yeah, I just, you know, it's proper etiquette. You just don't.
I don't know. I'd send somebody into a wall for $1 million.
If it was like
That's competition, right?
oh, and if we're playing hockey, I have no problem body checking you into the wall. It's just when you're operating a motor vehicle that's going upwards of almost 200 miles an hour, and you crash someone into a wall, you're potentially like
Killing them.
yeah, you're saying I value this $1 million more than you value, or that I value you with your family and your kids. And I could see a dad getting upset and punching someone over that.
But you know, why did he get so upset? Was it because the car was wrecked? Was it because it scared it? Like,
oh, I think it was a mix of all of it. To be honest, I don't think, you know, anytime you get a close call in traffic, people get upset. You know, oh my gosh, they almost just and you're worried about your life, you're worried about your insurance, you're worried about, you know, it's kind of all of it just at once, thinking about all of the possible, like it could have been so bad. And plus you're scared, you have adrenaline going too.
that's rush hour on EC Road.
Yeah, exactly that. That's just nail on the head with it. I am curious to see how they're gonna compose themselves in the next race. Do you think other guys gonna try to get even? Or...
I don't know. I mean, they can't be too blatantly aggressive, or they would get tossed out. I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't go out gunning for somebody.
If I was not either of them, if I was just competing in this race and I happened to win, I would say I'm keeping 500 for myself. I'm gonna give the next 500 to whoever wins out of them two fighting. Get into the ring. We're making it happen. I was saying it earlier too. It's the non-contact sports that are so interesting when you see all hell break loose, because usually it's somebody hurts you to kind of get you in that fight or flight mode, or you know, you get absolutely railed into the backboard, or you know, you go up for a basketball shot and you get an elbow to the face. Those are all things that can like really take someone off and not get them to a point of being aggressive. But you never hear about anyone getting into a fight over badminton, you know? Like, you don't have to, there is no body checking in badminton, and I don't really know what you could do to really anger someone enough to start swinging, other than beat them in the game badly.
I think there's been a few scuffles in tennis, like in pro tennis.
Tennis, that's another funny one to me. I've seen tennis players screaming at each other and
throwing their racket.
Yeah, you know, having tantrums and whatnot, but I've never seen them actually fight each other. And I'm curious to know what would it take for a tennis player to have to fight the other tennis player? Are they like shouting insults across the court about their like families or something? You're like what you say about my mama? Like, like I have no idea what could possibly go down there.
Hitting somebody with a racket, that's gonna start a scuffle.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I also just get a kick out of seeing all of these people in really, really expensive like uniforms and pressed suits that cost more than my fortune, and they're just like not knowing what to do, running around and like getting all scuffed up in the ground, rolling around trying to stop all these people from fighting, because like it's the last thing you'd think in a non-contact sport. I don't know. We were then talking earlier about the infamous Indiana Pacer and Pistons game that happened in Detroit, where a very similar incident happened. Now, basketball has a little bit more contact to it. You hear of fights happening, not all the time, but more frequently than badminton or NASCAR. But this one was different because it ended up breaking out into the stands, and people ended bystanders.
That was a free for all.
Yeah, a literal free for all. Everyone went wild.
People were throwing stuff and as the players were walking out, they walked down that alley thing, right?
Yeah.
People above were like throwing drinks and popcorn on these guys as they were walking away.
They just hopped right into the stands because they heard some of the other fans, heckling them.
There was racial slurs and everything.
Oh yeah,
that was bad.
It was bad. It got really bad, and I feel so bad for for two people in particular.
The team owners.
The team owners, and like the facility people who have to
clean that mess up.
Yeah, and figure out what to do with all of that. And whatever, I'm sure, because every basketball game, there's always one. There's always that one little kid that has never been to a game before, just wanted to get that full NBA experience.
Got it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they got it already.
Now when they see a basketball game on TV, they're traumatized by it.
Never went to another live game performance ever again. That is funny. We got about 30 seconds left until the top of the hour news kicks in.
Well, we can say our goodbyes. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today for our Twisted Tuesday.
Yeah, that was
fun. Hope you had fun.
It showed me that I have a lot of catching up to do.
You need to brush up on your nursery rhymes.
Which is pretty bad because I make music, right? And I like rhyming stuff together. So you would think I would naturally have it from there, but I don't know. I guess not. I live under a rock, apparently.
You can write a nursery rhyme about that.
Yeah, good.
The boy who lived under the rock.
The boy who lived under the rock, he found a good job to talk on the radio. Hickory dickory dock. All right.
He only had one sock.
How'd you know that? Alrighty, it's time for the top of the hour news. We'll be back after it. And there you have it, everybody. We will see you on the next episode of Twisted Tuesday. Donna, do you have anything?
I don't. Have a great week, everybody. And it's supposed to be really nice weather, so get out, enjoy, and
Yeah, take advantage of it.
thanks for tuning in.
Peace out.